All right, we are on the record for hearings in the matters listed in the North Dakota Industrial Commission hearing docket for June 25th, 2026. My name is Matthew Sagsby, and I'm hearing examiner for these hearings. Here we are at the hearing room for the Department of Mineral Resources, Oil and Gas Division, and it is 9:01. On the docket, the following matters will be continued or dismissed today. Case number 32938 is continued. Case number 32939 is continued. Case number 32940 is continued. Case number 32941 is continued. Case number 32776 is continued. Case number 32777 is continued. Case number 32946 is continued. Case number 32786 is continued. Case number 32785 is continued. Case number 32586 is continued. Case number 32870 is continued. Case number 32947 is continued. Case number 32948 is continued. Case number 32700 is continued. Case number 32701 is continued. Case number 32702 is continued. Case number 32949 is continued. Case number 32950 is continued. Case number 32951 is continued. Case number 32514 is continued. Case number 32790 is continued. Case number 32588 is continued. Case number 32792 is dismissed. On the admin docket, case number 32954 is continued. Case number 32955 is continued. Case number 32956 is continued. Case number 32957 is continued. Case number 32958 is continued. Case number 32959 is continued. Case number 32960 is continued. Case number 32961 is continued. Case number 32962 is continued. Case number 32963 is continued. Case number 32964 is continued. Case number 32965 is continued. Case number 32966 is continued. Case number 32967 is continued. Case number 32968 is continued. Case number 32805 is continued. Case number 32806 is continued. Case number 32973 is dismissed. Case number 32807 is continued. Case number 32887 is dismissed. Case number 32888 is continued. On supplemental docket 2, case number 32728 is continued. Case number 32170 is continued. Case number 32784 is dismissed. Case number 32611 is continued. Case number 32612 is continued. On the supplemental admin docket, case number 32177 is continued. Case number 32178 is continued. Case number 32626 is continued. And those are the continuations and the dismissals. The administrative docket starts on page 11 with case number 32952 and goes through on the supplemental docket 2 32626. These cases will be heard in the next room with Michael Zish. Audio recordings of the cases on the administrative docket will be placed on the Oil and Gas website by the end of the week. If you wish to appear in one of the matters on the administrative docket, please appear in the next room. If there is opposition to the matter, it will be brought back into this hearing room to be heard, and your statements and evidence will be taken. We will begin today with case number 32937. This is an application of SOGC LLC for an order amending the field rules for the Sandwich Bakken Pool and or Alger Bakken Pool in Montreal County, North Dakota as follows. 1. Create and establish an overlapping 1920 acre spacing unit comprised of sections 4, 5, and 6 in Township 154 North, Range 92 West, authorizing a drilling of a total not to exceed 8 horizontal wells on said proposed overlapping 1920 acre spacing unit, and 2. Create and establish an overlapping 3840 acre spacing unit comprised of sections 31, 32, and 33 in Township 155 North, Range 92 West, and sections 4, 5, and 6 in Township 154 North, Range 92 West, Authorizing the drilling of a horizontal well on or near the section line between existing spacing units on said proposed overlapping 3840 acre spacing unit and or such other relief. All interested parties come forward. Mr. Bender.
Thank you, Mr. Examiner. Lawrence Bender, P.O. Box 1854, Bismarck, North Dakota, appearing in this matter case 32937 on behalf of SOGC LLC. Mr. Examiner, the Commission should be in receipt of a letter earlier the week from SOGC LLC indicating that we intend to withdraw or have requested to withdraw of the overlapping 3840 acre spacing that you described in the caption. With that in mind, we plan on calling three witnesses. I believe you have a list of the witnesses.
I do.
First witness will be Jerry.
Lawrence, would you be able to get closer to a microphone? We really can't hear you.
It would help if I turned it on, I guess.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
And this is Mr. Baker.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Baker, can you raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm under the penalties of perjury that the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be true and correct to the best of your knowledge and belief?
We can't hear you, Jonathan.
Yeah. Yes. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Jonathan, state your full name for the record, please.
Jonathan Baker,
And Jonathan, by whom are you employed?
SOGC LLC,
In what capacity?
land manager and senior land.
And in that capacity, have you testified before the Commission previously?
Yes.
Had your qualifications accepted as that of an expert?
Yes.
For the further testimony, this witness that of an expert.
Offers accepted.
Jonathan, let's turn to the packet of exhibits for case 32937. Let's skip the cover page and let's go to exhibit L1. And what I'd like you to do, Jonathan, is identify exhibit L1 and then briefly describe what's contained on that exhibit.
Yeah. L1 is a map of locator map showing us in Montreal County area where we would like to focus this hearing on. It's sections 4, 5, and 6 of 154 North 92 West. SOGC operates 3 separate 1 mile units with about 11 wells there.
Okay. And can you just briefly discuss for us the ownership that SOGC has in each one of these 3 640 acre spacing units?
Correct. You can see a breakdown ranging from 21% to 37.5%. On average, we control about 30.5% of each of those wells.
Okay, then let's go to exhibit L2. And as you did with L1, Jonathan, first identify the exhibit and then briefly discuss what's contained upon it.
Sure. This is the same map, as far as location. It then shows the 8 infill we would like to do, both Middle, Bakken, and Three Forks, where we would be creating a 1920 laydown to go through the existing 1 mile standouts. And then I've shown a breakdown on the bottom here of ownership, again, bringing us back to that about 30.5% overall working interest for these 3 mile
And because SOGC has less than a majority interest, has SOGC been communicating with other working interest owners to determine who should be the operator of the wells that SOGC is proposing in this 1920?
We have,
Okay.
and so far support from the larger owners.
And you also have depicted on this exhibit some proposed laterals in dashed lines. The engineering witness is going to get into greater detail in terms of surface location, pads, that sort of thing. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. No further questions for the land witness, Mr. Examiner.
Thank you. Any questions from staff? Hearing none, you may call your next witness. Mr.
Next witness
Bartholomew.
is Lee Bartholomew. Yes.
Sir, could you raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm under the penalties of perjury the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be true and correct to the best of your knowledge and belief?
Yes.
Lee, state your full name for the record, please.
Lee Marston Bartholomew,
And Lee, by whom are you employed?
SOGC LLC,
In what capacity?
as a subsurface manager in charge of geology. And
And in that capacity, have you testified before the commission previously?
yes, I have.
Had your qualifications accepted as that of an expert?
That is correct.
Offer the further testimony of this witness that of an expert.
Offers accepted.
Thank you. Lee, let's go to the next exhibit in the packet. It's been previously marked as G1. What I would like you to do, as Jonathan did, is identify the exhibit first and then briefly discuss what's contained upon the exhibit.
So Exhibit G1 is a structure, is our targeted area and a structure map showing the Middle Bakken, the top of the Middle Bakken in SSTVD at a 50-foot contour interval. You can see our existing DSU is outlined in green, while our proposed 1920 DSU is outlined in blue dash. There's a line 8A prime that includes all of the wells that'll be referenced in the cross-section exhibit. Two of those wells are in the unit and are Three Forks wells. The rest of the wells penetrate the entire section.
Okay, then let's go on to exhibit G2 as you did with G1. Once again, identify and then briefly discuss what's contained on it.
So Exhibit G2 is just a stratigraphic cross-section showing all the wells that were on the line 8A prime on Exhibit G1, showing that the targeted formations are present and continuous across the region.
And what are the targeted formations?
Both Middle Bakken and Three Forks.
No further questions of this witness.
Thank you. Any questions from staff? All right, hearing none, you may call your next witness.
Mark Nelson.
Mr. Nelson, could you raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear and affirm under the penalties of perjury that the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be true and correct to the best of your knowledge and belief?
I do.
Mark, state your full name for the record, please.
Mark Nelson,
And Mark, by whom are you employed?
SOGC LLC,
In what capacity?
head of operations.
And in that capacity, you're an engineer, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And in that capacity, you testified before the commission previously?
I have.
Had your qualifications accepted as that of an expert?
Yes, sir.
Offer the further testimony of this witness that of an expert.
Offers accepted.
Thank you. Mark, let's go to Exhibit E1 in the packet. I'd like you to identify E1 and then discuss what's contained upon it.
Yeah, so this is a picture of our proposed spacing for the sections 4, 5, and 6 as discussed here. We're just showing the spacing of the 8 wells that we're proposing. So we would do 4 Middle Bakken, 4 Three Forks, spaced 1,000 feet like for like formation. And then we have a proposed surface unit on the east side of section 4.
Okay, and Exhibit E2.
This would just be the standard Bakken well design that we would use for these wells. So a 9 5/8 surface casing, a 7-inch intermediate, and then a 4.5-inch liner. Our plan would be to do about 210 feet per stage. So that would equate to 71 stages for a plug and perf frac.
And then E3.
This would be the reservoir data for this area. So for the Bakken Petroleum System as a whole, we go from the top of the Upper Bakken Shale to the top of the Bird Bear, which would be from 10,206 feet TVD to 10,587 feet TVD. The gross thickness of the oil column within this zone is 219 feet. We have a porosity of 5.3%, an average absolute permeability of 0.0011 millidarcies, and then KH of 0.177 millidarcies feet.
And E4.
This is the economics we ran for these wells. It's based on a June 2nd strip, which we have shown on the side there. Our initial rate, we assume, is 1,351 barrels of oil per day. We see the well life lasting 22 years with an initial gas oil ratio of 1,650 SCF per barrel. We're assuming a DCNF cost of 10.6 million. As Jonathan pointed out, our working interest of about 30%. That brings us to an NRI of just shy of 25%. Our estimated ultimate recovery of oil is 633,000 barrels, an EUR of gas of 1,420 MMCF, and then our internal rate of return of about 65% with a payout of just under 2 years.
And then Exhibit E5, is that a gas capture affidavit that the commission typically requires in these sorts of matters?
It is.
And in your opinion, will the requested relief prevent waste, protect relative rights, and prevent the drilling of unnecessary wells?
It will.
Mr. Examiner, no further questions of this witness. We would offer each one of the exhibits that was identified by the three witnesses.
Exhibits are admitted. Any questions from staff?
Mark, on your exhibit E1, the southernmost horizontal well, how far is that proposed to be from the section line?
1,000 feet.
Thank you. Mark, your well economics, are those kind of an average of the Three Forks and the Bakken? Or you don't expect any difference between the Three Forks and the Bakken in production?
Correct. As it stands now, we're assuming similar production from both formations.
Okay. And then when's your planned development date?
We would love to be able to get started in the spring of next year.
Thank you.
Any additional questions?
I do have a couple. The existing well bores, do you guys plan to return those to production? Or
So our current plan is to clean out one of the wells from each section and then see if we get an uplift and then make a determination on what we would do for the remaining parent wells.
thank you.
Any additional questions? All right, seeing none, we will close the record on case number 32937.
Thank you.
Next case on the docket is case number 32942. This is an application of Continental Resources Incorporated for an order amending the field rules for the East Fork Bakken Pool, Williams County, North Dakota as follows. 1. Create and establish one overlapping 2560 acre spacing unit comprised of sections 4, 9, 16, and 21 in Township 156 North, Range 99 West. Authorizing the drilling of a total not to exceed one horizontal well on said proposed overlapping 2560 acre spacing unit. And 2. Create and establish 3 overlapping 3840 acre spacing units comprised of sections 4, 5, 8, 9, 16, and 17, sections 3, 4, 9, 10, 15, and 16, and sections 20, 21, 28, 29, 32, and 33 in Township 156 North, Range 99 West, authorizing the drilling of a horizontal well on or near the section line between existing spacing units on each proposed overlapping 3840 acre spacing unit and or such further relief. Council?
Thank you, Mr. Examiner. Lawrence Bender, Bismarck, North Dakota, appearing in this matter, case number 32942 on behalf of Continental Resources, Inc. I point out at the outset that there is a request that was filed with the Commission by Continental Resources to withdraw one of the requested spacing units, and that would be the 2560 acre spacing unit comprised of 4, 9, 16, and 12 of 156.99.
Was that 21 as opposed to 12?
I'm sorry, what?
Was it 21? You said 12.
That's what. Yeah, it should be 21. I got the numbers reversed here. Sorry.
Got it.
Thank you for pointing that out. With that in mind, Mr. Examiner, we have 3 witnesses. Matt Calloway will be our first witness in the area of land.
All right. I see in the conference room there.
Looks like it.
Yes, I'm here.
Mr. Callaway, could you raise your right hand, please?
Yes.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm under the penalties of perjury the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be true and correct to the best of your knowledge and belief?
Yes, I do.
Matt, state your full name for the record, please.
Matthew Callaway,
And Matt, by whom are you employed?
Continental Resources,
In what capacity?
senior staff landman.
And in that capacity, you testified before the commission previously?
Yes, I have.
Had your qualifications accepted as that of an expert?
Yes, I have.
Offer the further testimony of this witness that of an expert.
Offer is accepted.
Matt, let's turn to the packet of exhibits for case 32492, and let's go first to L1. What I'd like you to do is identify exhibit L1 and then briefly discuss what's contained on that exhibit.
Sure. Exhibit L1 is a general locator map showing the existing field boundaries outlined in blue and the proposed 3,840 acre spacing units outlined in black, red, and green.
And L2.
L2 is a land plat of section 4 of 156 North 99 West, as well as a work interest breakdown to indicating Continental having a 94.23% work interest.
L3.
L3 is a land plat of sections 5 and 8 of 156 North, Range 99 West, as well as a work interest breakdown indicating Continental having a 76.09% work interest.
And L4.
L4 is a land plat of section 9 of 156 North, Range 99 West, as well as a work interest breakdown indicating Continental having a 100% work interest.
L5.
L5 is a land plat of section 16 of 156 North, 99 West, as well as a work interest breakdown indicating Continental having a 100% work interest.
L6.
L6 is a land plat of section 17 of 156 North, Range 99 West, as well as a work interest breakdown indicating Continental having a 97.40% work interest.
Okay, and then the 3840, L7.
L7 is a land plat of sections 4, 5, 8, 9, 16, and 17 of 156 North, Range 99 West, as well as a work interest breakdown indicating Continental having a 75.84% work interest.
All right, then let's go to the next group of sections. Let's go to L8.
L8 is a land plat of sections 3 and 10 of 156 North, Range 99 West, as well as a work interest breakdown indicating Continental having an 87.98% working interest.
L9.
L9 is a land plat of section 4 of 156 North, Range 99 West, as well as a work interest breakdown indicating Continental having a 94.23% work interest.
L10.
L10 is a land plat of section 9 of 156 North, Range 99 West, as well as a work interest breakdown indicating Continental having a 100% work interest.
L11.
L11 is a land plat of section 15 of 156 North, Range 99 West, as well as a work interest breakdown indicating Continental having 87.81% work interest.
L12.
L12, is a land plat of section 16 of 156 North, Range 99 West, and a working interest breakdown indicating Continental having 100% working interest.
And then the ownership under the 3840, L13.
L13 is a land plat of sections 3, 4, 9, 10, 15, and 16 of 156 North, Range 99 West, and a working interest breakdown indicating Continental having a 75.84% working interest.
Okay, now let's go to the lands under the next proposed 3840, L14.
L14 is a land plat of section 20 of 156 North, Range 99 West, and a working interest breakdown indicating Continental having 83.91% working interest.
L15.
L15 is a land plat of section 21 of 156 North, Range 99 West, and a working interest breakdown indicating Continental having a 55.22% working interest.
L16.
L16 is a land plat of sections 28 and 33 of 156 North, Range 99 West, and a working interest breakdown indicating Continental having a 74.69% working interest.
And L17.
L17 is a land plat of sections 29 and 32 of 156 North, Range 99 West, and a working interest breakdown indicating Continental having a 51.58% working interest.
And then finally, the ownership under the 3840, L18.
L18 is a land plat of sections 20, 21, 28, 29, 32, and 33 of 156 North, 99 West, as well as a working interest breakdown indicating Continental having a 75.84% working interest.
No further questions of the land witness.
Any questions from staff? All right, hearing none, you may call your next witness.
David Nance,
Yes.
Mr. Nance, can you raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm under the penalties of perjury the testimony you're about to give in this matter is true and correct to the best of your knowledge and belief?
Yes.
David, state your full name for the record, please.
David Nance,
And David, by whom are you employed?
Continental Resources,
In what capacity?
geologist.
And in that capacity, you testified before the commission previously?
Yes, I have.
Had your qualifications accepted as that of an expert?
Yes, they were.
Offer the further testimony of this witness that of an expert.
Offers accepted.
David, let's go to G1. Can you identify G1 and then briefly discuss what's contained upon that exhibit?
Sure. G1 is a geologic structure map showing our requested spacing unit highlighted in their various colors or highlighted in yellow and outlined in their various colors. 50-foot contour intervals of the upper Bakken surface are displayed in subsea TVD. The type log for the area is indicated by the red star.
Okay, let's go to that type log G2. Once again, identify it and briefly discuss what's contained upon it.
Yep. G2 is the type log for the area. It displays the logged unit from 50 feet above the Bakken down to the Bird Bear and shows the East Fork Field pool. And we expect uniform thickness, density, and porosity in the area.
No further questions of the geologic witness.
Questions from staff? Hearing none, you may call your next witness.
Jacob McCarley.
Mr. McCarley, can
Yes.
you raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear and affirm under the penalties of perjury the testimony you're about to give in this matter is true and correct to the best of your knowledge and belief?
Yes, I do.
Jacob, state your full name for the record.
Jacob McCarley,
And Jacob, by whom are you employed?
Continental Resources,
What capacity?
engineer.
In that capacity, you testified before the commission previously?
Yes, I have.
Had your qualifications accepted as that of an expert?
Yes, they were.
Offer the further testimony of this witness that of an expert.
Offers accepted.
Jacob, E1, identify E1 and then briefly discuss what's contained on that exhibit.
E1 is a proposed directional well plot of a 38-40 acre spacing unit in sections 3, 4, 9, 10, 15, and 16 in Township 156 North, Range 99 West in Williams County, North Dakota. It displays the proposed Middle Bakken lateral in the dashed green line, existing Middle Bakken wells in the solid green lines, and the existing Three Forks wells in the purple lines.
And E2.
E2 is the proposed directional well plot of a 38-40 acre spacing unit in sections 4, 5, 8, 9, 16, and 17 in Township 156 North, Range 99 West in Williams County, North Dakota. It displays the proposed Middle Bakken lateral in the dashed green line, existing Middle Bakken wells in the solid green lines, and the existing Three Forks wells in the solid purple lines.
And E3.
E3 is a proposed directional well plot of a 38-40 acre spacing unit in sections 20, 21, 28, 29, 32, and 33 in Township 156 North, Range 99 West in Williams County, North Dakota. Displays the proposed Middle Bakken lateral in the dashed green line, existing Middle Bakken wells in the green solid lines, and existing Three Forks wells in the purple lines.
And then let's go to E4.
E4 is a typical Middle Bakken wellbore diagram. Displays a lateral TD, which I apologize, should say 26,000 feet MD, not 31,000. I need to correct that. And it's a cemented lateral with 80 plug and perf stages.
And then E5.
E5 is the economics analysis of the well, all three wells. It shows the initial rate of 2,200 barrels of oil, final rate of 8 barrels per oil with a decline rate of 65%, GOR of 2,405 SCF per barrel. The oil EUR is 708,000 barrels. The gas EUR is estimated at 1.9 million cubic feet. And these were run with a estimated 100% working interest and 81% revenue interest.
Rate of return is 112% with an NPV of 9.9 million.
And then exhibit GM1, is that a gas capture affidavit that the commission typically requires in these sorts of matters?
Yes.
Mr. Examiner, no further questions. Offer the exhibits.
Exhibits are admitted. Any questions from staff?
Jacob, your exhibit E1, E2, and E3, the section lines did not reproduce very well on these exhibits. But are all the laterals proposed to be drilled on the section lines?
Yes, they are.
I'm sorry, Mr. Boer, you're saying that the proposed laterals didn't show up very
No,
well?
the section lines.
For the section lines. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Jacob, looking at those same three exhibits, are all three wells going to be drilled from separate pads?
We don't have pad locations identified at this time. We're working on it, but we're going to try to drill them all from one central pad between sections 16 and 21, as long as we can get the land.
So in all likelihood, the E1 would be reversed from what you have depicted with the right now it shows the surface hole in the north end. You'd reverse that.
That's correct, yeah.
And then same on E3, that would end up reversed, drilling south instead of drilling north.
Yes, that's correct.
Is there a plan for the section line between 21 and 22 of 156.99? Is there a case coming for that? Okay. Disregard, it sounds like we have a case coming for that section.
Okay.
Any additional questions? All right, hearing none. With that, we will close the hearing on case number 32942.
Thank you.
Next case on the docket is case number 32943. This is an application of XTO Energy Incorporated for an order of the commission amending the applicable field rules for the Lost Bridge Bakken Pool in Dunn County, North Dakota as follows. 1. To terminate two existing 1920 acre spacing units comprised of sections 1, 12, and 13, and sections 2, 11, and 14, Township 148 North, Range 97 West. And 2. To establish in lieu thereof two overlapping 1920 acre spacing units comprised of sections 12, 13, and 24, and sections 11, 14, and 23, Township 148 North, Range 97 West, authorizing the drilling of not more than 8 horizontal wells in each such 1920 acre spacing unit boundary, and 3, allowing one well in the spacing unit comprised of sections 12, 13, and 24 to be drilled not less than 300 feet from the west boundary of the spacing unit, and 4, allowing one well in the spacing unit comprised of sections 11, 14, and 23 in Township 148 North, Range 97 West to be drilled not less than 300 feet from the east boundary of the spacing unit boundary, and 5, authorizing the drilling of 6 additional wells in a 1280 acre spacing unit comprised of sections 1 and 2 in Township 148 North, Range 97 West, and for such further and additional relief. Council.
Thank you, Mr. Examiner. Lawrence Bender, Bismarck, North Dakota, appearing in this matter, case number 32943 on behalf of XTO Energy. And we have 3 witnesses in this matter. First is in the area of land, Kathleen May.
All right, Ms. May, could you raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm under the penalties of perjury the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be true and correct to the best of your knowledge and belief?
Yes.
Kathleen, state your full name for the record, please.
Kathleen May,
And Kathleen, by whom are you employed?
XTO Energy,
What capacity?
Landman.
And in that capacity, have you testified before the commission previously?
I have not.
What I'd like you to do, Kathleen, is briefly highlight for the examiner and the commission staff your educational background and work experience.
Okay, yes, I have been in land for, I think, for 13 years. I have been a landman at XTO for the last 5 years, and I am currently working the Bakken.
Okay. And educational background?
I graduated from Texas A&M in 2010 with an economics major.
Okay. And in preparation for today's hearing, have you made a thorough study and review of all the relevant land matters concerning XTO's request in case 32943?
Yes, I have.
And have you prepared or had prepared under your control and supervision some land exhibits that you intend to sponsor?
Yes.
And have you satisfied yourself as to the accuracy of those exhibits?
Yes.
For the further testimony, this witness as an expert.
Offer is accepted.
Kathleen, let's go to the, skip the cover page and let's go to the first exhibit in the packet, Exhibit 1. Can you just identify that exhibit and maybe just summarize what's contained in this exhibit and its purpose?
Yes, this is just a background to kind of showcase why we're here today, help explain the reasoning behind our request for respacing and increased density. Do you want me to go ahead and go through it?
Yeah, please.
Okay, great. So the previously planned hurt and hole pads you'll see on the existing picture on the left, they're within critical bighorn sheep habitat and include federal minerals. So the BLM reached out requesting an evaluation of alternative drilling locations. The current restrictions of that bighorn sheep area limit operations to approximately 152 days per year, which extends pad construction, drilling, completions, and first production to approximately 4 years. So the central location of the hurt hole pads within the development amplifies impacts, delays, affect surrounding pads due to parent-child well interference and completion timing. Since the BLM requested evaluation, we've looked into this and shifted to the new pad locations that you'll see on the right, which is outside of the bighorn sheep critical habitat. And it has benefits, including reduced overall pad count and accelerates our development of additional wells to the south.
And have you run past the Bureau of Land Management this new proposal that you're presenting to the commission here today?
Yes.
Okay. And does this seem to satisfy their concern?
Yes.
Okay. Let's go on to the next exhibit then, Exhibit 2. Just briefly describe that.
Yep, this just shows the Lost Bridge field of where we will be in this development.
Okay. And Exhibit 3.
Exhibit 3 is going to show our original spacing. So it shows the two 1920s, one that is in section 112 and 13, 148.97, with a working interest of 97%. And then the other section 2, 11, and 14 with a working interest of 97%.
Okay, and then Exhibit 4.
Exhibit 4 showcases what we are requesting today with the 1920 now in 12, 13, and 24 of 148.97, which gives XTO 100% working interest. The 1920 in sections 11, 14, and 23, which gives XTO 100% working interest. And the Ghost Rider, sorry, that's what we call it. The sections 1 and 2 increased density. This is already spaced as a 1280 in 148.97, and that would give us 93.5% working interest.
No further questions of the land witness.
Any questions from staff? All right, hearing none, you may call your next witness.
Lauren, is it Musso? Am I pronouncing your name correctly, Lauren?
Yes, correct. Musso.
Okay, great.
All right, Ms. Musso, could you raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm under the penalties of perjury the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be true and correct to the best of your knowledge and belief?
Yes.
Lauren, state your full name for the record, please.
Lauren Musso,
And Lauren, by whom are you employed?
XTO Energy,
And in that capacity, in what capacity? I'm sorry.
geoscientist.
Okay. And in that capacity, you testified before the commission previously?
Yes.
Had your qualifications accepted as that of an expert?
Yes.
Offer the further testimony of this witness as an expert.
Offer is accepted.
Lauren, let's go to the next exhibit in the packet. It's been previously marked as Exhibit 5. And what I'd like you to do is identify the exhibit first of all, and then briefly discuss what's contained upon it.
So Exhibit 5, it will be a geologic structure map covering the Upper Bakken Shale. This is a subsea structure map in subsea TPD, and the contour interval is 20 feet. And it shows our proposed spacing units, as Kathleen just described, as well as has Bakken producers and Three Fork producers posted in the blue and green production bubbles, with a cross-section reference line from A to A prime, which will be the next exhibit.
Okay, let's go to the next exhibit, Exhibit 6. And as you did with Exhibit 5, identify it and then briefly discuss what's contained upon it.
This is the reference cross-section from the previous structure map. So A to A prime, we're just trying to show here the relative thicknesses of Middle Bakken and Three Forks are very continuous. So anywhere between 40 to 47 feet for both formations across this area.
No further questions.
Any questions from staff? All right, hearing none, you may call your next witness.
Kyle Johnston.
Mr. Johnson, could you raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm under the penalties of perjury and testimony you're about to give in this matter will be true and correct to the best of your knowledge and belief?
Yes.
Kyle, state your full name for the record, please.
Kyle Johnston,
And Kyle, by whom are you employed?
ExxonMobil,
In what capacity?
a reservoir engineer.
And in that capacity, you testified before the commission previously?
Yes, I have.
Had your qualifications accepted as that of an expert?
Yes.
Offer the further testimony of this witness that of an expert.
Offers accepted.
Kyle, Exhibit 7. Identify it, please, and then briefly discuss what's contained upon it.
Okay. On this Exhibit 7 is a preliminary directional drilling plan that we have for the two 1960 units that we've been discussing. The shifted one that's down. Each of them shows the approximate pad location that we've scouted out, as well as 8 pads drilling from both wells, or both pads. Sorry.
Okay, and Exhibit 8.
Exhibit 8 shows a wellbore construction diagram for a 3-mile lateral, as depicted in the previous exhibit, showcasing the casing designs and number of frac stages.
And the number of frac stages you're anticipating.
44 frac stages.
And then Exhibit 9.
Exhibit 9 is economics and reservoir properties. On the top, you'll have the reservoir properties such as pay thickness, porosities, and original oil in place being calculated. And on the bottom shows the economics, where the highlight the oil EUR of about 1 million barrels of oil expected out of this well, 3 BCF of gas, all come to a with about $12.5 million investment coming to a return on investment undiscounted of 3.36 to 1.
And Exhibit 10.
Exhibit 10 just goes into a little bit of summary of the development program. So on the top, it shows 2 pads drilled, stimulated, and produced in succession, with each consisting of 8 wells, including a mirrored interior well between the units and an exterior unit line well. Exterior unit line well will be coming to a hearing next month, and they are depicted on here. With this shift, the respacing, we are expecting to share a pad with some future development wells to the south, which will be accelerated. So that's about $20 million savings. The reduced surface impact that we're calculating is about 11 acres. And in total, removed acres from that critical bighorn sheep habitat is 16 acres. I've got a summary of the different proposals for the existing pads that we have, and then the proposed spacing units. And so what that's showing is there's no difference in well counts, no difference in lateral lengths, and no expected difference in oil EUR. And then below that kind of outlines the surface impacts that we talked about earlier, with the number of pads reduction being 2 wells or 2 pads, and then the surface impact of 11 acres.
And Exhibit 11.
Exhibit 11 is the east-west unit that we are swapping here. So this is the one we're asking for a density increase, currently spaced for 1 well, and this depicts 6 additional wells being drilled.
And Exhibit 12.
Exhibit 12 is a 2-mile preliminary construction diagram showing about 29 frac stages.
And then finally, exhibit 13.
Exhibit 13 shows this 2-mile laydown or east-west well economics that we're expecting for this overall investment for each well, about $10 million, and expecting about 2.42 to 1 payout on the investment.
Kyle, in your opinion, will the requested relief prevent waste, protect relative rights, prevent the drilling of unnecessary wells?
Yes.
Mr. Examiner, that's all the questions I have for this witness. Offer the exhibits. I would point out that we got a gas capture affidavit late yesterday. I didn't get it into the packet. The copies were already made, so we'd request that the record remain open so that we can submit that. We can have that to you later today or tomorrow. Perhaps just leave the record open until 5 o'clock tomorrow.
Okay, we can do that. Your exhibits are admitted. Any questions from staff?
Kyle, I guess let me start with when the request came to reevaluate the spacing units, did XTO consider developing them as 4-mile units instead of 3-mile units with the laydown?
We have evaluated internally and deemed it unpractical for this area.
Okay. Looking at your exhibit 7, the application has the request for a well not less than 300 feet from the west boundary of 12, 13, and 24, and from the east boundary of 11, 14, and 23, correct?
Yes.
So your innermost wells, are those the two that will be drilled in that 300-foot corridor, or that between the 300 and 500 foot?
Yes, it will. So currently depicted, we have them about 340 feet for equal spacing across both units.
Okay, and the application is for 8 wells in the 1920s. I count 8 sticks on here, but when I look at the exhibit, the eastern and westernmost sticks on the exhibit look like they're outside the 500-foot boundaries on the other side where the request isn't being made. Will those be inside the 500-foot when you develop?
If so, as depicted, they are not. If we're requesting up to 8 wells, should the overlapping spacing unit for those unit lines or lease lines not come to fruition, we will be drilling 8. We'll just tighten up the spacing so they'll be within that corridor. And so that's why we're requesting up to 8, no more than 8 wells be drilled.
But you wouldn't be planning to put a well between the 500-foot setback and the east side of 12, 13, and 24, would you?
No, not unless the overlapping spacing unit is approved.
Okay, so the well you currently have depicted in that interval is your planned section line.
That's the planned section line, yes. And if those don't get approved, then we will shift those over and still drill 8 wells within the unit.
And all the wells would be drilled at approximately the same time or in succession?
Correct.
And completed in the same time frame?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
So Kyle, we don't have the application yet for the lease line wells on the west side and on the east side. Looks like there's some lease line space units that currently exist that we're gonna get rid of. Looks like 10, 11, 14, 15, 2, 3, 10, 11, 14, and 15. It doesn't sound like that is a lease line spacing you plan on developing.
No, that was so if you go back to the first exhibit, that was the existing lease lines that we had there, I believe. But no, it would be 10, 11, 15, 14, 22, 23, and then on the opposite side, mirrored on that, 12, 7, 13, 18, 19, 24.
Okay. The your discussion about you might drill 8 if the lease line space units are not approved. In this application, if you want to drill 8 wells in the spacing unit, you have to show us 8 wells in the spacing unit. So as it stands right now, we would grant 7. If you're fine with that, that's okay. Otherwise, you need to supplement the record with how you would drill 8 wells in each spacing unit.
We can offer, I can offer that if needed
And Mr.
for this.
Perhaps we can leave the record open until next Thursday, or what's typically allowed. So it
Okay.
gives us a little bit more time. Thank you.
And if they're fine with 7, they would
Yeah.
have to supplement. Okay, thank you.
It gives some time to talk about that and evaluate it.
Any additional questions?
When do you plan to develop this area?
We have, we're planning on the tail end of this year, developing the pads, and then drilling rig is currently scheduled about middle of next year.
Okay, thank you.
And Mr. Examiner, I assume it goes without saying that both the gas capture affidavit and the other would be due next Thursday.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
So hearing no additional questions, we will keep the record open on this case until July 2nd. That would be next Thursday. Unless there's anything else, we will close today's hearing on case number 32943.
Nice touch on the split screen. You guys all look good on the split screen. Look like you're on the evening news.
We don't like it.
I can't figure out how to change it. So, but glad it looks good. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next case on the docket is case number 32944. This is an application of Coda Resources Operating LLC for an order for the East Goose Lake Bakken Pool in Divide County, North Dakota to create and establish an overlapping 6,400 acre spacing unit comprised of sections 34, 35, and 36 in Township 162 North, Range 103 West, and sections 1, 2, 3, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15 in Township 161 North, Range 103 West, authorizing the drilling of a horizontal well on or near the section line between the existing spacing units of said proposed overlapping 6,400 acre spacing unit and such further relief as appropriate. Council?
Thank you, Mr. Examiner. Lawrence Bender, P.O. Box 1854, Bismarck, appearing in this case, case number 32944, on behalf of Coda Resources Operating LLC. We intend to call 3 witnesses in the area of land: Allie Schuster, geology, Catherine Pfeiffer, and engineering, Jake Herby, who will be appearing by telephone. Hopefully they'll join shortly. I can't hear you.
You can't call it telephone. But I think there's a number
They're coming.
13. So now we can call it, what we call it electronic or something or other reliable.
I didn't say how they were going to appear. No, I said hopefully they'll be appearing shortly. That's what I said.
Good morning.
Okay, now saying a disagreement over the communication device. Ms. Schuster?
Yes.
All right, could you raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm under the penalties of perjury that testimony you're about to give in this matter will be true and correct to the best of your knowledge and belief?
I do.
I'm not going to let this go. I'm going to request a transcript, but thank you, Mr. Examiner. Lawrence Bender, P.O. Box 1854, Bismarck, appearing in this matter, case number 32944, on behalf of Coda Resources Operating LLC. First witness is Allie Schuster in the area of land.
Okay.
Did you swear?
I did swear.
Oh, I'm sorry. Allie, state your name for the record, please. Sorry about that.
Allie Schuster.
And Allie, by whom are you employed?
Coda Resources
What capacity?
as a landman.
And in that capacity, have you testified before the commission previously?
I have?
Had your qualifications accepted as that of an expert?
Yes.
Offer the further testimony as witness that of an expert.
Offers accepted.
Okay, Ally, let's turn to the packet of exhibits for case 32944. And let's skip the cover page. Let's go to exhibit L1. Can you tell us what exhibit L1 is?
Exhibit L1 is a regional locator map showing the general area where our application resides in Divide County, North Dakota.
And L2.
Exhibit L2 is a location map that zooms into the East Goose Lake field where a proposed 6,400 acre line well spacing unit is located.
Okay, and then L3.
Exhibit L3 is a zoom in to this proposed 6,400 acre line well spacing unit comprised of sections 34, 35, and 36 of Township 162, Range 103 West, and sections 1, 2, 3, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15 of Township 161, 103 West. It shows that there are two existing underlying spacing units. There is a 2560 located in section 36 of 162, 103 West, and sections 112 and 13 of 161, 103 West. CODA's working interest in the 2560 is about 83.88%. And then it also shows the 3840 acre spacing unit on the Montana border, comprised of sections 34 and 35 of 162, 103 West, and sections 2, 3, 10, 11, 14, and 15 of 161, 103 West. Our working interest in that 3840 is 68.36%. And our proposed working interest in the line well spacing unit is about 74%.
No further questions of the land witness.
Any questions from staff? All right, hearing no questions, you may call your next witness.
Catherine Pfeiffer.
Yes.
Ms. Pfeiffer, could you raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm under the penalties of perjury the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be true and correct to the best of your knowledge and belief?
Yes, I do.
Catherine, state your full name for the record, please.
Catherine Pfeiffer,
And Catherine, by whom are you employed?
Coda Resources,
What capacity?
as a geologist.
And in that capacity, have you testified before the commission previously?
Yes, I have.
Had your qualifications accepted as that of an expert?
Yes.
Offer the further testimony this witness that of an expert.
Offers accepted.
Catherine, let's go to Exhibit G1. Can you identify Exhibit G1 and then briefly discuss what's contained upon it?
Yes, G1 is a structure map in subsea TVD on the top of the middle Bakken member. The contour interval is 50 feet. We're showing that it is shallower to the north and deeper to the south. And then we have a cross section for the next exhibit from A to A prime.
Okay, let's go to G2.
G2 is that cross section, just showing two type logs running from the lower portion of the lodgepole down to the bird bear, and we target the middle Bakken.
No further questions.
Any questions from staff? Hearing no questions, you may call your next witness.
Jake Hervey.
Mr. Kirby, could you raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear under or affirm under the penalties of perjury the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be true and correct to the best of your knowledge and belief?
I do.
Jake, state your full name for the record, please.
Jake Kirby,
And Jake, by whom are you employed?
Coda Resources,
What capacity?
reservoir engineer.
And in that capacity, you've testified before the commission previously?
I have.
Had your qualifications accepted as that of an expert?
Yes.
Offer the further testimony this witness that of an expert.
Offers accepted.
Jake, let's go to the first engineering exhibit marked E1. Can you tell us what that is and then briefly discuss what's contained upon it?
Yep. So E1 shows the planned layout of the 6,400 acre line well spacing unit requested. You can see in black an existing 4-mile lateral drilled into the underlying 2560. And then you can also see the other previously approved wells in blue, and then our requested line well in green. You can also see an existing pad location as well as a potential future pad location in the western DSU.
Okay, E2.
E2 is just our 4-mile lateral middle Bakken type well diagram, showing our 4.5-inch tieback liner on roughly 135 planned plug and perf stages.
E3.
E3 shows our reservoir parameters, including expected fluid properties, our reservoir properties showing our charged middle Bakken and upper Three Forks in this area. And then I'm showing volumetrics as a total combined system, inclusive of the middle Bakken and upper Three Forks for the entire DSU, including the previously approved like individual wells, as well as the additional line wells. So for a total of 14 wells in the 6,400 acre DSU, you're in the 17-ish% range for recovery factor.
E4.
E4 shows our middle Bakken type well economics for a 4-mile lateral. You can see we're expecting around 717 MBO oil and a payout of around 11 months.
And then E5. Is that a gas capture affidavit that the commission typically requires in these sorts of matters?
Yes.
In your opinion, will the requested relief prevent waste, protect correlative rights, and prevent the drilling of unnecessary wells?
Yes.
No further questions. Offer the exhibits.
Exhibits are admitted. Any questions from staff?
Jake, on your exhibit E1, is the lease line well going to be drilled from that existing pad to the southeast?
Yes, it will, as well as a couple of the additional wells into the western unit.
Okay, thank you. Jake, when do you plan on drilling this and the other wells?
This will be, so we'll do a portion of this development. We're planning to do about half of the wells on the west in one package, and that'll be kind of late this fall into winter.
Then the other half?
Would be about a year down the road.
And then do you guys have pipe in the area for gas takeaway? Or what's the time in this relative to your other infrastructure build out?
Yeah, so that's part of the consideration on development timing here. It's gonna be kind of a tiered approach. So for phase one, we'll be connecting this pad to a couple of our other pads on this corridor and utilizing mobile capture there. And then for the phase two, when we come back like the following year, that'll be when our full system is going to be coming online with our third-party gathering solution. And then we'll have the full trunk line in place at that time.
And then I'm assuming the gas from both will go through that system?
Yeah, correct. So we're basically just phasing out the full pipe, which is about 13 miles to get all the way down to our system from here. So we're phasing it out into kind of half and half over 2 years.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Jake, I realize the proposed spacing unit is being proposed to include the entirety of both of the base spacing units. But if the commission were to determine that the proper spacing in for this lease line did not include the partial sections 34, 3, 10, and 15, and established it as a 51-20, would you still be able to drill the well and would it work for CODA's purposes?
I think that should be fine.
Okay, thank you.
Any additional questions from staff? All right, thank you. Hearing no additional questions, that will end the hearing for case number 32944, and the record will be closed. Next case on the docket is case number 32945. I'm going to read a description of the case, but I understand, Mr. Bender, that there was a withdrawal request submitted, and I'll let you make that record after I read it. This is an application of CODA Resources Operating LLC for an order amending the field rules for the Danville Bakken Pool and/or Clinton Bakken Pool in Divide County, North Dakota, as follows. 1. Create and establish one overlapping 2560 acre spacing unit comprised of sections 35, Township 162 North, Range 102 West, and sections 211 and 14, Township 161 North, Range 102 West, authorizing the drilling of a total not to exceed 4 horizontal wells on said proposed overlapping 25 60-acre spacing unit, and 2, create and establish 4 overlapping 38 40-acre spacing units comprised of sections 24, 25, and 36 of Township 161 North, Range 103 West, and sections 19, 30, and 31, Township 161 North, Range 102 West, sections 19, 20, 29, 30, and 31, and 32 in Township 161 North, Range 102 West, sections 20, 21, 28, 29, 32, and 33 in Township 161 North, Range 102 West, and sections 21, 22, 27, 28, 33, and 34 in Township 161 North, Range 102 West, authorizing the drilling of horizontal well on or near the section line between existing spacing units of each proposed overlapping 38 40-acre spacing unit. 3, create and establish 1 overlapping 4,800-acre spacing unit comprised of sections 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 34, 35, and 36 in Township 161 North, Range 103 West, authorizing the drilling of a horizontal well on or near the section line between existing spacing units on said proposed overlapping 4,800-acre spacing unit, and 4, create and establish 3 overlapping 5,120-acre spacing units comprised of sections 32 and 33, Township 162 North, Range 102 West, and sections 4, 5, 8, 9, 16, and 17, Township 161 North, Range 102 West, sections 33 and 34, Township 162 North and Range 102 West, and sections 3, 4, 9, 10, 15, and 16, Township 161 North, Range 102 West, and sections 34 and 35, Township 162 North, Range 102 West, and sections 2, 3, 10, 11, 14, and 15, Township 161 North, Range 102 West, authorizing drilling of a horizontal well on or near the section line between existing spacing units on each proposed overlapping 5,120-acre spacing unit and or such further relief. Council.
Thank you, Mr. Examiner. Lawrence Bender, P.O. Box 1854, Bismarck, appearing in this matter, case number 32945, on behalf of Coda Resources Operating, LLC. We'll have the same 3 witnesses in this case as we had in the previous case. And as you noted, Coda did make a request, I believe it was yesterday, to withdraw 2 spacing units. One is a 2560-acre spacing unit comprised of sections 35, 162, 102, and sections 2, 11, and 14 of 161, Range 102 West. The other spacing is a 5120-acre spacing unit, sections 34 and 35, 162, 102, and sections 2, 3, 10, 11, 14, and 15 of 161, 102.
All right, the record will reflect a withdrawal request, and I'll just remind the witnesses who've already been sworn that you continue to be sworn for case number 32945. Let me call your first witness.
Thank you. Allie Schuster. Allie, you still there? There you are.
Yes, I'm here.
You want to go to Exhibit L1 and identify Exhibit L1 and briefly discuss what's contained upon it?
Yes, Exhibit L1 is the regional locator map where the showing the general location of where this application resides in Divide County.
L2.
Exhibit L2 is a location map that zooms in to the proposed spacing units here for the line wells. And then I will point out that the withdrawn application is still shown on this Exhibit L2, but we have removed it from the rest of the testimony.
So it's on here, but when you go into the individual spacing units, it's not included. Is that correct?
That's correct. It has been removed.
Okay, L3.
Okay. Exhibit L3 is a zoom in. And before we start, I'd like to apologize and let you know I do need to submit kind of a revised land group of exhibits. I have transposed 3840 throughout. So it says 3480 acre line wells. So we will get that fixed. It is meant to say 3840. So I apologize for that oversight. But it zooms into the 3,840 acre line well spacing unit located in sections 24, 25, and 36 of 161, 103 and sections 19, 30, and 31 of 161, 102. Our working interest within the existing 1920 in sections 24, 25, and 36 is 86%. It also shows the existing AL 2436-4BH well. And then our working interest within the existing 19, 30, and 31, 19, 20 acre spacing unit is 64.63. In addition to fixing the transposition or transposing of the 3480, I do have a correction to our line well spacing unit working interest. It should say 75% working interest there. So we will get this page updated for you.
Okay, L4.
L4, again, is a zoom in of the 3,840 acre line well spacing unit proposed, comprised of sections 19, 20, 29, 30, 31, and 32 of sections 161, 102. Again, our working interest in 19, 30, and 31 is 64.63%, and our working interest in 20, 29, and 32 is 93.1%. And our proposed working interest in the line well spacing is 78%.
And L5.
L5 is to zoom into the line well spacing unit covering sections 20, 29, 32, and 21, 28, and 33 of 161, 102. Again, our working interest in 20, 29, and 32 is 93.1%, and our working interest in 21, 28, and 33 is 95% working interest. Our proposed working interest in the line well is 94%.
And Exhibit L6.
Exhibit L6 is a zoom in to the line well spacing unit located in sections 21, 28, 33, and 22, 27, and 34. Again, our working interest in 21, 28, 33 is 95%. Our working interest in 22, 27, and 34 is 97%. And our working interest in the line well is 96%. There are existing wells in this DSU as well, shown in black.
L7.
Exhibit L7 is a zoom in to our proposed 4,800 acre line well spacing unit along the Montana border, covering sections 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 34, 35, and 36 of 161, 103. Our working interest in the existing 2,880 acre spacing unit along the Montana border is 88%. And our working interest in the existing 1920 spacing unit in sections 24, 25, and 36 is 86.909%. And our working interest in the line well spacing is 87%.
And Exhibit L8.
Exhibit L8 is a zoom in of the 5,120 acre line well spacing unit proposed in sections 32 and 33 of 162, 102, and sections 4, 5, 8, 9, 16, and 17 of 161, 102. Our working interest in the 2560 and 32, 5, 8, and 17 is 64%. Our working interest in the DSU or the 2560 and 33, 4, 9, and 16 is 76%. And our working interest in the proposed line well is 70%.
And then Exhibit L9.
This is a zoom into the 5,120 acre line well spacing unit located in sections 33 and 34 of 162, 102, and sections 3, 4, 9, 10, 15, and 16 of 161, 102. Our working interest in the 2560 and 33, 4, 9, and 16 is 76%, and our working interest in the DSU in 34, 3, 10, and 15 is 86%, giving us a proposed line well spacing working interest of 81%.
No further questions, land witness.
Any questions for staff?
Allie, out of curiosity, on your exhibit L7 for the 4,800 acre spacing unit,
Yes.
would the proceeds from that well be distributed half to the east spacing unit and half to the west spacing unit?
That's probably how it would be set up unless the commission determines a different spacing. Since you've got the two kind of pooled units when you drill the wells.
Yeah, so it wouldn't be on an acreage basis. It would be half to each spacing unit.
Yes, that's probably how it would be set up. But if we need to adjust that, we can work with our attorneys and commission staff to address that differently.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Any additional questions? All right, thank you. Hearing no additional questions, you're going to call your next witness.
Catherine,
G1.
G1 is a structure map and subsea TVD on the top of the middle Bakken member. The contour interval is 50 feet. It's showing as you move to the north, you're getting shallower. As you move to the south, you're getting deeper. And then for G2, we have the cross-section type log from A to A prime also listed on the map.
Okay, let's go to G2.
G2 is that quad combo, just type logs showing the lower portion of the lodgepole down to the bird bear. And we target the middle Bakken member.
No further questions of the geologic witness.
Questions from staff? All right, hearing no questions, going to call your next witness.
Jake, E1. Yep. E1 again shows the layout of the two underlying units with our existing approved wells as well as an existing PDP well. In the 3840 acre spacing unit, you can see the requested line well in green. E2. E2 shows an additional 3,840 acre spacing unit, our existing PDP wells, the approved middle Bakken horizontal spacing wells, and our requested line well in green, as well as the proposed pad locations to the north. E3. E3 shows an additional 3,840 acre spacing unit, our existing PDP wells in black, the approved middle Bakken horizontal well spacings in blue, and our requested line well in green. E4. E4 similarly shows the requested 3,840 acre spacing unit, and the requested line well in green. E5. E5 shows the larger 4,800 acre spacing unit with the partial sections. You can see the already approved middle Bakken horizontal well spacing wells in blue, and then the requested line well in green. E6. E6, moving to the north, shows our requested 5,120 acre line well spacing unit, our existing 4-mile lateral well in black, the approved middle Bakken horizontal well spacings in blue, and our requested line well in green. E7. E7 very similar, shows our existing producer to the north, the approved middle Bakken wells in blue, and then our requested line well in green for this 5,120 acre unit. And then let's go to E8. E8 shows our middle Bakken type well diagram for a 3-mile lateral, showing TD around 25,000 feet and around 100 planned plug and perf stages. E9. E9, very similar, just for a 4-mile lateral, TD pushed out to around 30,000, and number of stages increased to 135 linearly. And E10. E10 shows our reservoir parameters for this area. This will be for a 3-mile lateral, just for the recovery factors. All the fluid properties and reservoir properties will be the same on the following page, but really just showing our recovery factors for these line well units, inclusive of the underlying individual units in around the 16% range. E11. E11, similar for the 4-mile lateral, just on the larger units. The recovery factors inching up to 17-ish% for the 5120s there. E12. E12 shows our economics for a 3-mile lateral. You can see our around 538 MBO well, generating an IRR of around 45% and a 14-month payout. E13. E13, just showing the enhanced economics of a 4-mile lateral. EUR expected around 717 MBO and a payout of around 11 months compared to the 14 for the 3-milers. And exhibit E14, is that a gas capture affidavit that the commission typically requires in these sorts of matters? Yes. In your opinion, will the requested relief prevent waste, protect relative rights, and prevent the drilling of unnecessary wells? Yes. No further questions. Offer the exhibits and request that the record remain open. Is it July 3rd? Is that next Thursday? Second. Till July 2nd.
Exhibits are admitted. The record will remain open until July 2nd. Any questions from staff?
Jake, on a few of these lease line wells, you have multiple pads listed on E2. Do you know which pad that well's gonna be drilled from?
On E2, it will be drilled from the pad to the east.
On E5,
On E5, there is. On E5, it'll be drilled from the center pad.
and on E6,
On E6, it'll be drilled likely from the western pad. These aren't all fully planned, but I think that makes sense with the anti-collision for the existing well.
and on E7,
E7 will likely be the eastern pad.
okay, thank you. Jake, can you run through your development timing and then how it connects to your larger system build out from a gas?
Yeah, if we go back, I think it'll be easiest to look at L2 just to show the kind of broader area. And so it encompasses the previous case as well. So our system currently exists down to the south. So it'd be like another set of 3 mile lateral DSUs to the south. So really over the next couple months, we'll build the system up to basically the border of where when you're getting into 161, 102, and we'll develop kind of the eastern portion first, and we'll build that pipeline system up to the north. Additionally, we'll build a trunk line that basically connects our AL24 wells, which are our furthest northwest wells, over to our Bach 21 well, which is our kind of in the middle of that northern corridor. So we'll have a small system there that'll be about 4 miles, and that's to do temporary mobile capture for around another 6 well development there. So you'll have 10 wells total connected to that. And then you'll have the kind of southeastern portion of this view with 3 mile laterals connected to the system. That'll happen over the course of this summer as those wells come online into next spring. Then next summer, we'd fully connect the kind of small mini system that we built into the full system, and everything will be connected down to our GPF for delivery into the Steel Reef third party at the time that they're expecting to come online in September of 2027.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Jake, similar to my question in the last case, if on Exhibit E5, the 4800, if the commission were to determine that the partial sections 22, 27, and 34 shouldn't be part of that spacing unit, would the remaining still allow you to drill the well, and would it work for CODA?
It would. The only thing that I'm wondering about is there are some federal tracks here, so there may be some facility considerations and inefficiencies if we have to build like an additional tank battery, but that's the only consideration on our end. I think if there was a different allocation method that allowed it to all be in one, that would be preferable.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Any additional questions? All right. Hearing no additional questions, well, like I said before, we'll keep this record open until July 2nd, but we will close the hearing on case number 32945. And Mr. Bender, is that your last case for today? Okay. With that, we'll take a quick break, come back in 5 or 10 minutes. Thanks.
Thank you.
Go off the record.
Yeah, I've done water before in Wyoming.
All right, we'll go back on the record. It is 10:35 a.m. on June 25th. Next case on the docket is case number 32914. This is a continued application of Phoenix Operating LLC for an order amending the applicable orders for the Black Slough Bakken Pool to establish a stand-up 2560 acre spacing unit comprising sections 14, 23, 26, and 35 in Township 162 North, Range 92 West, in Burke County, North Dakota, and authorize up to 4 horizontal wells to be drilled in such unit and or granting such other relief as may be appropriate. Council.
Thank you, Mr. Examiner. Good morning. Aaron Beaver, P.O. Box 1017, Saratoga, Wyoming, appearing on behalf in this Phoenix Operating LLC in this case. This morning we have our 3 witnesses, Justin Arn for land, Topher Lewis for geology, and Eric Chivy for engineering. We're going to start with Mr. Arn.
All right, Mr. Arn, could you raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm under the penalties of perjury the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be true and correct to the best of your knowledge and belief?
I do. Justin, would you please state your full name, by whom you're employed, and in what capacity, and your work address, please?
My name is Justin Lee Arn. I work for Phoenix Operating LLC. My title is Chief Land and Title Officer. My current work address is 4643 South Ulster Street, Suite 1510, Denver, Colorado 80237.
And Justin, are you personally familiar with the land matters that are the subject to this application?
Yes, I am.
And have you had your qualifications been previously received as that of an expert witness?
Yes, they have.
Make a motion to have Mr. Arn's testimony be received as that of an expert witness.
Motion's granted.
Justin, have you prepared or caused to be prepared the exhibits for case number 32914 in this matter?
Yes, I have.
And turning to the regional map, can you just discuss Phoenix's spacing generally there?
Certainly. Exhibit L1 that we prepared here today is a zoomed out regional map showing the area of interest there in red, comprising sections 14, 23, 26, and 35 in Township 162 North, Range 92 West, located in Burke County, North Dakota.
And turning to Exhibit L2A, can you please describe and explain Phoenix's proposed unit plan map?
Certainly. A zoomed in version from the L1 is this L2A. Identifying again sections 14, 23, 26, and 35 that Phoenix plans to develop as a 2,560 acre stand-up 4-mile unit.
And turning now to Exhibit L2B, Phoenix's development plan generally for the area.
L2B shows, like you said, our general development plan in the area. This is sort of a continuation of some of the cases that the board heard yesterday related to how we plan to develop this area. You can see that adjacent and to the west of this unit, which is outlined in dashed red, we've got our Morgan unit, that's the 5-mile unit, a Sidekick unit, a 4-mile unit, and then our Micah unit. Trying to stay as much as possible, by the way, along that southern line there, where you see the pad locations, as much as we possibly can to avoid, where possible, surface disturbance, and also to try to keep gathering when that time comes, and pipeline disturbance to a minimum.
And now turning to Exhibit L3, can you please discuss the general unit composition and ownership?
Certainly. L3 is our composition with regards to fee, federal, and state ownership. Phoenix shows no federal ownership in the proposed unit. There is some state ownership where the state actually owns 50% of the mineral interest. You can see that that interest is leased currently.
And now Exhibit L4, the working interest summary for the unit.
L4 does identify the current working interest owners in the unit. You can see that Phoenix currently stands at 79.79% of the working interest in our proposed unit. There is still just over 10% unleased owners out there. Phoenix continues to send lease offers in the area in an attempt to lease these owners prior to spud and production, and a small number of other working interest parties, lessees, and non-ops.
And Justin, will Phoenix cooperate with other working interest owners in the proposed spacing unit if approved for drilling?
Yes, we will.
And just turning real quick to Exhibit E4, is that the gas capture affidavit that you executed in relation to this matter?
It is.
No further questions for Mr. Arn, and move for admission of the land exhibits and the gas capture affidavit.
Exhibits are admitted. Any questions from staff? All right, hearing no questions, you may call your next witness.
Next witness is Mr. Topher Lewis.
Could you raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm under the penalties of perjury that the testimony you're about to give in this matter is true and correct to the best of your knowledge and belief?
Yes, I do. Topher, can you please state your full name, by whom you're employed, in what capacity, and your work address, please?
Topher Lewis, geologist for Phoenix Operating, and the address is 4643 South Ulster Street, Suite 1510, Denver, Colorado 80237.
Topher, are you personally familiar with the geology matters that are the subject of this application?
Yes, I am.
And have you had your qualifications been previously received as that of an expert witness by this commission?
Yes, they were.
Move to have Mr. Lewis's testimony in this matter be received as that of an expert witness.
Motion's granted.
Topher, have you prepared or caused to be prepared the geology exhibits for this matter?
Yes, I have.
If you please turn with me to Exhibit G1, can you please describe the structure of the middle block and underlying the spacing unit, the proposed unit outline, and the type log and cross section there?
Yeah, Exhibit G1, structure map on the Upper Bakken Shale and subsurface TVD, contour interval of 20 feet. This area of the structure is dipping to the southwest. I proposed 2560 spacing unit is the outline in red, and the gold line represents 2-well cross-section with the type well that we'll use in the next exhibits.
And looking at the next exhibit, G2, can you describe the contents of the type log, the cross-section, and the characteristics of the Bakken Shale?
Yeah, G2 upper portion is the 2-well cross-section, plotting curves from triple combo, gamma ray resistivity, and porosity. Black lines are stratigraphy in the area. They illustrate that the Bakken is present in the subsurface here, and our target's going to be the middle Bakken. And type well that we're using is the Redney 11-7H, and petrophysical data and reservoir properties for that well are on the table on the bottom for the next exhibits.
And Topher, is the middle Bakken present continuous across the entire proposed spacing unit?
Yes, it is.
No further questions for Mr. Lewis, and move for admission of the geology exhibits.
Exhibits are admitted. Any questions from staff? Hearing no questions, you may call your next witness.
Next witness is Eric Shivy.
Mr. Shivy, could you raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm under the penalties of perjury the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be true and correct to the best of your knowledge and belief?
I do.
Eric, can you please state your name, by whom you're employed, and in what capacity, and your work address, please?
Yes, my name's Eric Shivy. I work for Phoenix Operating. I'm the Vice President of Reservoir Engineering and Corporate Reserves. Business address is 4643 South Ulster Street, Denver, Colorado 80237.
And Eric, are you personally familiar with engineering matters that are the subject of this application?
Yes, I am.
And have you had your qualifications been previously received as that of an expert witness?
Yes, they have.
I move to have Mr. Shivy's testimony be received as that of an expert witness.
Motion's granted.
Eric, have you prepared or caused to be prepared the engineering exhibits in this hearing?
Yes, I have.
Would you turn with me to Exhibit E1, describe Phoenix's example wellbore diagram there?
Sure. Good morning. This is our 3-string casing design that we use in the Williston Basin. We'd be cementing 4.5-inch liner in place and completing via plug and perf.
Turning to E2, Phoenix's proposed unit development for the proposed spacing?
Yes, we've identified a pad location there just off unit to the south in section 2 of 16192 West. We'd be drilling these obviously south to north, batch drill and complete is the plan. There'd be 660-foot setbacks to the west and east off the section lines, and that would imply 1320-foot spacing interwell.
And Eric, turning to Exhibit E3, the well economics for the wells in the proposed basin.
Sure. The top table describes our ARPS parameters to yield about a 650,000 MBO oil well. GOR is about 1,000 SCF per barrel here. With the 4 wells, that's about an 8.3% recovery factor for this DSU. Economics given below We're running a flat $70 West Texas Intermediate, $3.50 Henry Hub gas price. DNC cost of about $11.76 million per well. 8/8 economics, assuming that would be 100% working interest with a 20% royalty. Yields a PV10 of about $7.4 million per well, 45% internal rate of return, and an undiscounted payout of about 1.84 years.
And Eric, turning to Exhibit E4, is that the gas capture affidavit that was testified to by Mr. Arndt?
Yes, it is.
And Eric, in your opinion, will Phoenix's proposed spacing and the operations in this unit protect correlated rights, prevent waste, and avoid the drilling of unnecessary wells?
Yes, believe so.
No further questions for Mr. Shivy, and move for admission of the engineering exhibits.
Exhibits are admitted. Any questions from staff?
I guess, Justin, real quick, because it was included in there, I may have missed the day that those hearings happened, but on L2B,
yes, sir.
Just to make sure that I understand the development in the area, you guys plan to develop the Willa, the Micah, the Sidekick, and the Morgan, and then this unit together?
It's part of our overall development pattern. Yes. So as we heard, what did we hear? 32742, 32743, and 32744 yesterday. As we look at our L2B, also included in that, and that is also in blue just below the Sidekick unit, is Phoenix's Frosty unit. That's a 2-mile switchback unit that's going to be heard tomorrow, I believe.
But Justin, was that Frost unit, was that previously spaced 4 and 9?
I believe it was, yeah.
Okay.
So
the Morgan unit is a 5-mile
application? It is a 5-mile application, yes, sir.
Apologies, I wasn't here yesterday afternoon, so.
No.
Okay. Then what's the closest wells that Phoenix has that are producing to this area? And the reason I ask, I guess, Eric, is just to try to level set the economics that I'm seeing. Where are you taking the numbers from? What's the analog?
Oh yeah, this area. Yeah, I'm still on. This area, Nathan, there's not been much development up here, so really relying on some wells to the south. There's some older wells. Formentera just drilled in that green box on L2. They just, I think, drilled those this year. There's not been much established production, so I'm really kind of relying on just type curves based on the oil in place. Although we are shallow over here, you'll probably notice my lower recovery factor. Just don't know if there's much. This is a solution gas drive reservoir, just not as much pressure. So I've erred on the side, a little bit of conservatism for the recovery. Just not been much development up in this area. I will also say, Nathan, that just to the west of that Willa unit is what we're calling our Hercules unit, and we do plan to spud that this year. That would be our closest wells to the area.
Okay. That's it. Thanks.
Any additional questions? All right, hearing no additional questions, we will close the hearing on case number 32914. Next case on the docket is case number 32875.
Yeah.
This is a continued application of Phoenix Operating LLC for an order amending the applicable orders for the Blacktail Bakken Pool to establish a stand-up 2560-acre spacing unit comprising sections 1, 12, 13, and 24, Township 144 North, Range 99 West, in Billings County, North Dakota, and authorize up to 4 horizontal wells to be drilled in such unit and or granting such other relief as may be appropriate. Council?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Examiner. Aaron Beaver, P.O. Box 1017, Saratoga, Wyoming, appearing on behalf of Phoenix Operating LLC in this case number 32875. We would note at the outset here that the exhibits will show, and we believe the testimony in this case 32875 for geology and engineering will be virtually identical to the adjacent unit, which is the subject of case number 32876, which is immediately after this case. That, along with the land exhibits, are very similar as well. Just ask that these hearings be consolidated or heard at the same time.
Okay, we can consolidate for those two cases for hearing purposes, and I'll just read case number 32876 into the record. That is also continued application of Phoenix Operating LLC for an order amending the applicable orders for the Blacktail Bakken Pool to establish a stand of 2560 acre space unit comprising sections 2, 11, 14, 23 in Township 144 North, Range 99 West, and Billings County, North Dakota, and authorize up to 4 horizontal wells to be drilled in such unit, and are granting such other relief as may be appropriate.
Thank you, Mr. Examiner. Same 3 witnesses as our previous hearing: Justin Arndt, Topher Lewis, Eric Chivy. First witness being Justin Arndt.
All right, I'll just remind the witnesses they continue to be under oath.
Justin, are you personally familiar with the lands that are subject to these 2 applications, 32875 and 32876?
Yes, I am.
And have you prepared or caused to be prepared the exhibits for both of these matters?
Yes, I have.
Okay, turning to exhibit L1 on both 32875 and 76, can you please just generally describe the regional map there?
Certainly. Exhibits L1 for 32875 and 32876 identify the 2,560 acre spacing units adjacent to one another. The first 32875 comprising sections 1, 12, 13, and 24 of Township 144 North, Range 99 West, and then directly adjacent and to the west on 32876 comprising sections 2, 11, and 14, 14 and 23, of again Township 144 North, Range 99 West, both of those being in Billings County, North Dakota.
And turning to exhibit L2 on both applications, Phoenix's proposed plan map.
The proposed plan map identifies both of the 4-mile units, each outlined in red as to their specific exhibits. You can see that also our pad locations for both of these will be coming down from the south. That's where we're thinking we're going to be developing these 2 from. There's not much to say, I guess, other than that with regards to these 2.
Turning to exhibit L3 for both applications, the unit composition ownership.
So L3 identifies again any state and federal interests located within the 2 units. Starting with 32875, you can see that there is a significant number, 36.88% of the unit, in fact, that is unleased federal interest. You can see that outlined in yellow in portions of sections 12 and 24. Those tracts have been nominated. They're on separate sale dates, but they're all scheduled to be auctioned off in 2027. So they've already passed through the NEPA analysis process and everything, and a sale date has actually been issued for those. So we're hopeful about that. You can also see that there's a state interest there in section 1, and that is currently leased. And then, of course, you've got your fee owners in there, comprising about 56% of the unit. Moving on to 32876, a little bit of the same situation. Unleased fed comprising a little less this time in sections 2 and 14, 502 acres, and that 4-mile unit. Again, those have been nominated, and 2027 sale dates have been announced by the BLM for those 2 tracts.
And turning now to exhibit L4 on both applications, can you discuss the Phoenix working interest and the general working interest summary there?
Of course. So starting with the tugboat unit 32875, you can see that Phoenix owns 51.7% of the working interest in the proposed 2560. Small number of working interest owners, and then the large number of unleased mineral owners. That's actually almost entirely comprised of that 960 acres of federal interest that I mentioned earlier that will be auctioned off in the 2027 sale dates there for the tugboat unit. Moving on to 32876. You can see our working interest is slightly higher in that one at 61.64%. Unleased owners accounting for 38.36% of that. Again, about 560 acres of that, that percentage being the unleased federal interest, which will be auctioned off in 2027, according to the BLM.
And Justin, will Phoenix cooperate with other working interest owners in the proposed spacing units subject to these applications if approved for drilling?
Yes, we will.
And just taking a look real quick at Exhibit E4 on both applications, did you execute the gas capture affidavit?
I did.
No further questions for Mr. Arn in either one of these matters, and move for admission of land exhibits and the gas capture affidavit in both of these matters.
Exhibits are admitted. Any questions from staff?
Justin, on exhibits L4 on both cases, the interest that is represented by Phoenix, just want to make sure that that's the existing interest that Phoenix has leased.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
All right, hearing no additional questions, you may call your next witness.
Next witness is Topher Lewis. Topher, are you personally familiar with the geology matters that are subject to these two applications, 32875 and 32876?
Yes, I am.
And have you prepared or caused to be prepared the geology exhibits for this hearing?
Yes.
Okay. Turning to Exhibit G1, please. Would you please describe the structure of the Middle Bakken, the underlying the proposed spacing and the type log and the unit outline there?
Yes, Exhibit G1 for both 32875 and 32876. Structure map on the Upper Bakken Shale and subsurface TVD at a 20-foot interval. The structure in this area is dipping to the northeast. The red outline for these are the proposed 2560 spacing units for each case. And the gold line is a 2-well cross section, the type well. And type well the same for both of these cases.
Okay, so taking a look at G2, the type log is the same. The cross section and the characteristics of the Bakken Shale are both the same, depicted in both applications there.
Yeah, for G2, the upper portion is that 2-well cross section. The type well that we're using here is the well on the left, the Amoco Unit 1A. The logs in the background, triple combo, gamma ray resistivity, porosity. Black lines are the stratigraphy that we use in the area, representing that the Middle Bakken is here. And the table at the bottom, that's what the petrophysical data that we use for the next exhibits for engineering.
And Topher, is the Middle Bakken present continues across the entire proposed spacing unit in both spacing units?
Yes, it is.
No further questions for Mr. Lewis, and move for admission of the geology exhibits in both matters.
Exhibits are admitted. Any questions from staff?
Right here. This is a geology question. From off to the southwest in that area, there's significantly closer contour lines. What's going on in that area, Joe?
We'll get to that map.
I guess on G1. It's on G1. Just curious if you had some thoughts on that.
On G1?
Yeah.
The structure is coming up
significantly quicker than it is just a few miles away.
Yes.
Okay.
I would have to specifically go back and look at the density of data, since that is outside of this specific unit, to give you any more detail on that.
That's okay. Just curious.
Sure.
Thank you.
All right, hearing no additional questions, you may call your next witness.
Eric, are you personally familiar with the engineering matters that are subject to both of these applications?
Yes, I am.
And have you prepared or caused to be prepared the engineering exhibits for these matters?
Yes, I have.
looking at exhibit E1 for 32875. Can you just explain the wellbore diagram there?
Oh, sure. This is our standard 3-string casing design again. The 4.5-inch liner would be cemented in place and completed via plug and perf. Probably around 100 frac stages on average for a 4-mile lateral.
And is it the same exhibit in 32876?
That's correct.
Turning to E2.
Sure. This is our proposed development plan. It's similar in both cases. We're planning both of these to be drilled south to north. We have identified pad locations. Each of these would be batch drilled and completed. 660-foot setbacks off the east and west section lines again.
And looking at exhibit E3, well economics.
Sure. The top table is kind of our ARPS parameter, describing a 720 MBO well. Its initial rate around 28,500 barrels of oil a month. And down below in the economics, you can see we're estimating a PV10 of about $10.4 million per well, 61% rate of return, and an undiscounted payout of about 1.6 years. Again, this was run at $70 WTI.
And the well economics depicted are the same in applications 32875 and 32876.
That's correct. Those are both identical.
And Eric, in your opinion, will Phoenix's proposed spacing and operations in both of these units protect relative rights, prevent waste, and avoid the drilling of unnecessary wells?
Yes, I believe so.
And just taking a real quick look on Exhibit E4, or on both applications, is that the gas capture affidavit that was testified to by Justin?
Yes, it is.
No further questions for Mr. Shivy, and move for admission of the engineering exhibits.
Exhibits are admitted. Any additional questions?
On the docket, it indicates these are 2560 acre units, and in the throughout the application, it's 2603 and 2604, and some change on each of those. I just want to make sure that what's represented in the packet that we just went over is
understood.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that. A lot of times I use the shorthand 2560, even though the correction sections, being sections 1 and 2, have lot sizes that are a little larger than your standard 40-acre lots to the north, that actually make the units larger than 2560. So in reality, as I think you might see from, I want to say it was L3, that number 2603, and I think maybe for the other one 2604, the actual NMA counts and acreage counts for those unit sizes. So
okay.
Yeah,
thanks.
Any additional questions? You got a question? Okay. All right. Hearing no additional questions, we will close the hearing for consolidated cases 32875 and 32876. Next case on the docket is case number 32877. This is the continued application of Phoenix Operating LLC for an order amending the applicable orders for the Saxon under Murphy Creek Bakken Pool to establish a stand-up 2560 acre spacing unit comprising sections 6, 7, 18, and 19 in Township 144 North, Range 93 West in Dunn County, North Dakota, and authorize up to 4 horizontal wells to be drilled in such unit and or granting such other relief as may be appropriate. Council.
Thank you, Mr. Examiner. Aaron Bieber, P.O. Box 1017, Saratoga, Wyoming, appearing on behalf of Phoenix Operating LLC in this matter. Once again, Mr. Examiner, we have 3 cases back to back this morning that are all going to have virtually the same geology testimony along with exhibits, and virtually the same engineering testimony along with exhibits, with the land being a little bit different. And so we just ask that all 3 of these matters be heard at the same time, just to save a little time.
And you wish them to be consolidated?
Yes, please.
All right, we will consolidate case number 32878 and 32879. Case number 32878 is a continued application of Phoenix Operating LLC for an order amending the applicable orders for the Murphy Creek Bakken Pool to establish a stand-up 2560 acre spacing unit comprising sections 30 and 31 in Township 144 North, Range 93 West, and sections 6 and 7, Township 143 North, Range 93 West in Dunn County, North Dakota, and authorize up to 4 horizontal wells to be drilled in such unit and are granting such other relief as may be appropriate. Case number 32879 is a continued application of Phoenix Operating LLC for an order amending the applicable orders for the Murphy Creek Bakken Pool to establish a stand-up 2560 acre spacing unit comprising sections 1, 12, 13, and 24 in Township 143 North, Range 94 West, in Dunn County, North Dakota, and authorize up to 4 horizontal wells to be drilled in such unit and are granting such other relief as may be appropriate. Council.
Thank you, Mr. Examiner. First witness, Justin Arn. Justin, are you personally familiar with the land matters that are the subject of these three applications, 32877, 32878, 32879? And did you prepare cause to be prepared the exhibits for these applications?
I did.
Looking at exhibit L1 on each one of the applications, can you please just briefly describe the regional map there depicting Phoenix's proposed units?
Certainly. Starting with L1 on 32877, Phoenix is identifying what amounts to close to a 2,560 acre spacing unit comprising sections 6, 7, 18, and 19, Township 144 North, Range 93 West. 32878 is adjacent directly south of that same unit on the regional map, identifying sections 30 and 31 of Township 144 North, Range 93 West, along with sections 6 and 7 of Township 143 North, Range 93 West. And the last one is adjacent to that directly to the west, although offsetting just a bit. Sections 1, 12, 13, and 24 of Township 143 North, Range 94 West.
And turning to exhibit L2A, can you just go through Phoenix's proposed plan map for each one of the units?
Certainly. These are simply zoomed in versions of each of the proposed units. We'll start with 32877, identifying sections 6, 7, 18, and 19. What you might notice is there's very little production here in this township. Unfortunately, what you can't see is directly to the west of this township, in Township 144 North, Range 94 West. So directly to the west, Phoenix has our Marshall units comprising sections 2 and 11, 14 and 23, 13 and 24, where we have existing production and a pad. I'm just identifying that to show that Phoenix does have production currently in this area, and that this step out to the east isn't sort of coming out of nowhere for us. It was always on our plan, and that's why we started leasing it. Moving on to 32878, again directly south of our Cottonwood unit. So that's oh well. And it looks like there may be a mistype actually on 32878, excuse me, because we're identifying both of those as Cottonwood units in exhibit L2A, so we may have to fix that for you guys.
And Justin, is 32878 Phoenix's proposed Aspen unit?
It is. That's correct. So in any case, that identifies in a more zoomed in version sections 30, 31, 6, and 7. And then finally, our Sugar Ray units, again, directly adjacent and to the west there, comprising sections 1, 12, 13, and 24. You can see 143 North, Range 94 West has had a little more production than what you see out to the east, including what I believe is still a producing well there in 2 and 11. But as we move in an eastward direction from 144 North and 143 North, there's very little production.
Turning to L2B, can you just walk us through Phoenix's proposed plan map?
L2B sort of identifies exactly what I was sort of talking about earlier with all of the units being next to one another. I went through that, I guess, in L2, so I'm not sure it's all that relevant to what we're talking about now.
And then turning to L3 in each one of the applications, the general unit composition, state, acreage, and so forth.
Certainly, looking for any state and federal acreage within these proposed units. You can see that between all three units, there is no federal acreage. There is some state acreage located in 32877, our Cottonwood unit. That is currently leased, about 70 acres there. No state or federal acreage in our Aspen unit. And in our Sugar Ray unit, there is, again, an 80-acre state tract that is also leased currently. So no federal issues here, some state, and that is all leased.
Now turning to Exhibit L4 on all three applications, can you just discuss the working interest summary for each one of the units?
Sure. Exhibit L4 identifies on 32877 Phoenix's interest in our Cottonwood unit, comprising 68.42%. You can see that Marathon has a 23% working interest in the unit. Some smaller other working interest owners and just a few unleased owners left in that particular unit. Moving on to 32878, our Aspen unit. Phoenix's working interest is higher at 78.11%. Still some unleased owners in there that Phoenix is working on, and a small number of working interest owners. And then finally, in that Sugar Ray unit, this being the southernmost unit, Phoenix's current working interest at 54.26%. We've got some other working interest owners and about 43% unleased. Phoenix is still leasing in this area and expects to get a higher working interest as development plans continue.
And Justin, in each one of these spacing units, will Phoenix cooperate with other working interest owners in these proposed spacings if they're approved for drilling?
Absolutely.
And just taking a quick look at Exhibit E4 on each one of the applications, is that the gas capture affidavit that you executed with relation to each one of these matters respectively?
Yes.
No further questions for Mr. Arnn, and move for admission of the land exhibits in each one of these matters, along with the gas capture affidavit in each one of these matters.
I guess I'll just, I'm sorry. I guess I'll just add, since we're hearing 3 and 1, just with regards to our gas.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I will add that I mentioned that Phoenix has operations in 14494, including a very large pad where we've got current operations. We are currently in discussions with One Oak to add these locations to our current dedication. So we think, and essentially One Oak would gather that to their Bear Creek gas plant. So we think that that's how we're going to deal with the gas in these particular units as, again, as development plans firm up. So just wanted to make that known for these 3.
Thank you. No further questions for Mr. Arnn, and re-motion for admission of these land exhibits and the gas capture affidavit.
Exhibits are admitted. Any questions from staff? Right, hearing no questions, we call your next witness.
Topher, are you personally familiar with the geology matters that are the subject of these three applications, 32877, 32878, and 32879?
Yes.
And did you prepare or cause to be prepared the geology exhibits for these matters?
Yes, I did.
Taking a look at Exhibit G1 on each one of the applications, can you please describe the type log, the Middle Bakken formation throughout the depicted map and the outline spacing?
G1 structure map on the Upper Bakken Shale and subsurface TVD at a contour interval of 20 feet. And just note that the black contour lines are identical for all 3 of these cases, 32877, 32878, and 32879. As well as the 2-well cross section and the type log that we'll use. The only thing that changes is the red proposed outline. That's all that changes between the cases.
And turning to Exhibit G2, can you please discuss the contents of the type log, the cross section, the characteristics of the Bakken and just confirm that all three exhibits are identical.
Yeah, G2 upper portion is that 2-well cross section, showing curves from a triple combo, gamma ray, resistivity, and porosity. Black lines represent our stratigraphy in the area, illustrating that the Bakken is present in the subsurface. And again, in this area, our target is going to be the middle Bakken. The type log that we use is the Kling 1-7, so well on the left. And the reservoir properties from that well are summarized in the table below, and that's the same properties for all three of these cases.
And Topher is the middle Bakken, present continuous across the entire proposed spacing unit in each one of these proposed spacings?
Yes, it is.
No further questions for Mr. Lewis, and move for admission of the geology exhibits in all three matters.
Exhibits are admitted. Any questions from staff? Hearing no questions, we may call our next witness.
Eric, are you personally familiar with the engineering matters that are the subject of these proposed applications?
Yes, I am.
And did you prepare or cause to be prepared the exhibits in these applications?
I have.
Eric, would you take a look real quick at Exhibit E1 in each one of the applications, the example wellbore diagram, and are they identical in all three?
Yeah, they're identical in all three. I think all the cases we heard today are for mile well proposals. The 3-inch, 3-string casing design, 4.5-inch liner cemented in place and completed via plug and perf.
And turning to E2, just briefly describe Phoenix's proposed development in each one of these units, please.
Yes, each one of these units would have encompass 4 wells, inner well spacing 1,320 feet apart. We plan to batch drill and complete these. I will add, as Mr. Arnn said, just to the west is our Marshall pad. That's a 12-well pad that's been producing. It's a little bit going over a year now. But we do have, what's nice about that, we do have gas takeaway there, and we have an oil pipeline there too. So that reduces some trucking for the oil volume. So our intent would be to hopefully tie these proposed pads into that.
And maybe said this, but are these wells being batch drilled in each instance?
That's correct.
Is there a proposed pad location in these?
Actually, Aaron, there is not yet. We just started scoping it, but I will say, what are our 2 units that are going north and south? The Aspen and the Cottonwood. Our preference would be to put a pad there in between sections 19 and 20 on maybe exhibit L2B is a good example. And so we could drill both those units north and south. We find, just economies of scale. If you can, reduce the facility cost, pad construction and all that, be our preference to get a pad location there.
Sure. And then turning to exhibit L3, or pardon me, E3.
Yes.
Can you just discuss the well economics for each one of these 3 wells, and are each one of these exhibit E3s identical to one another?
Yes, all 3 exhibit E3s in these cases are identical. We're estimating about 720,000 MBO oil well for each 4-mile lateral. That would imply a 16.4% recovery factor in each of these proposed DSUs. And then the second table of our economics, assuming $70 WTI, drill and complete cost right around $11.76 million per well, yields a PV10 of about 10.4 million and a 61% rate of return.
Eric, in your opinion, will Phoenix's proposed spacing and operations in each one of these 3 units protect relative rights, prevent waste, and avoid drilling of unnecessary wells?
Yes, it will.
And just E4 is that the gas capture affidavit that Justin had testified to earlier?
Yes, it is.
I have no further questions for Mr. Shivy and move for admission of the engineering exhibits in each one of these cases.
Before, Aaron, there's something I did gloss over. I apologize. I should mention on case 32879, there is that older wellbore there. It has actually been plugged and abandoned. If you take a look, it's the Husky 12-1H. It has been abandoned or plugged since 2013. That's the only thing I wanted to point out.
Okay, no further questions now, I think, for Mr. Shivy, and move for admission of the engineering exhibits in each one of these cases, please.
Exhibits are admitted. Questions from staff?
Eric, on these 3 development plans, you said Are these the 660 off the line, 1320 interwell?
Correct, sir. Correct, Mr. Board.
And do you have a feeling for where the pad might be in 32879?
32879. We're looking still at this one. I believe what it's still up there. I think our preference was to the north there. If I'm mistaken, I could follow up with you on that. But we just started like looking at this area because we do have existing production here. It might be an opportunity for us to develop more down here.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
All right, hearing no additional questions, do we need to keep the record open at all in this case?
Would the commission like a supplemental exhibit for? Oh yeah, the error for we would like the record open. Pardon me. I think it's.
I want to say it's Exhibit L2A on 32878. It just had that Scrivener's error.
Yep, it's we'd like to keep the record open for till next Monday.
Monday's fine.
Yeah, next Monday in case number 32878 to correct that error on Exhibit L2A.
All right, we'll keep.
I have another comment.
We will keep the record open for Exhibit L2A until June 22nd. Mr. Board?
June 22nd.
June 22nd. Or 29th, sorry.
Aaron, there, and Justin, there were two previous cases, 31934 and 31935, for two stand-up 1920s in this area that were heard July 23rd, 2025. There were applications by Phoenix. I assume I'm going to see letters in those requesting may be dismissed.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
All right, hearing no additional questions, we will close the hearing on consolidated cases 32877, 32878, and 32879. There is one additional case on the docket in the supplemental docket number 3, and that's case number 31999. We're going to reopen this application of Phoenix Operating LLC for an order amending the applicable orders for this Strandell Butte Bakken Pool to establish a stand-up 3,200 acre spacing unit described as sections 29 and 32 in Township 157 North, Range 103 West, and sections 2, 3, 10, and 11, Township 156 North, Range 104 West in Williams County, North Dakota, and authorize 4 horizontal wells to be drilled on such unit or granting such other relief as may be appropriate. Council?
Thank you, Mr. Examiner. Aaron Beaver, P.O. Box 1017, Saratoga, Wyoming, appearing on behalf of Phoenix Operating LLC in this matter. I believe that at last month's hearings, Phoenix had heard two separate lease line cases, being 32704 and 32881, both of which pertain to matters that the commission had questioned various questions on, and had requested that in each instance that the record for these cases be incorporated into an already closed case, or a case that had already been heard and the record had been closed in 321 or 31999. So the suggestion was made that we would re-notice this matter 31999 so that the public would have the opportunity to appear, comment, and possibly object to any anything that they would see wrong about incorporating the record from these two other cases into this 31999.
Okay, and I'll just state for the record, if there are any interested parties, they can come forward. Seeing no interested parties, your request is to incorporate the record for 32704 and 32881 into the record for 31999.
Per the commission's request, that is correct.
All right, we will do so. Any additional questions from commission staff on this case? Hearing no additional questions, we will close the hearing on case number 31999. That is the last case on the docket for today, and with that, we will close the hearing.